Hello, I'm Eric Sondheimer of the Los Angeles Times. This is Coach Steve Miller, and we're going to talk high school sports. He bothered to bring out his UCLA shirt. I guess he's a big UCLA fan. But first of all, we're going to talk about high school football, who's been very good early on, and he likes Bryce Young, who happens to be going to USC out of Mater Dei.
This is killing me. Now we have back-to-back quarterbacks going to SC, and this guy is a great scrambler, only a junior, and he's already verbally committed to SC. When is UCLA going to get a verbal commitment?
Well, all I can say is JT Daniels from Mater Dei, the person he replaced, starts for USC this week, is going to do a great job. The one player that I've been impressed with is Zach Charborinet, the running back out of Oaks Christian, headed to Michigan, really living up to all the expectations. He stayed off social media in the summer, so he's really not rated as highly as some other running backs. But to me, he's the best running back in California, so I look for him to continue to succeed. Another player that I've been impressed with is Nehemiah Thompson, the linebacker out of San Fernando. I saw him against Alemany get a couple sacks. Really a tremendous player, even though Alemany won that game. I think he's going to be the best defensive player in the city section. And you have some other players that you like in particular. How about in the city section? Who's impressed you a lot so far? I mean, it hasn't been a good time for the city, right?
Well, football is down in number of people. Narbonne looks like the best team by far. They have great players. Other than that, I don't know if anybody stands out.
Right. Let's talk about surprise teams. And one of them that Coach Miller likes because he knows the coach is Simi Valley and Coach Jim Bankert.
Coach Bankert is a tremendous coach. Everywhere he's gone, he's won. He has college players. He teaches life to all the players. You know, he's won at Westlake, he's won at Oaks Christian, and now here he is at Simi Valley, a team that doesn't win much at all. He has some transfers, Eric. I know I hit the T word.
Oh, you're the first one to mention that. I did not mention transfer.
No, I did, because it's part of football, part of all sports now.
Okay, we'll go back to transfers here. What I've been impressed with is the first-year coaches are off to some good starts. You have Alemany and Casey Clausen. You have Cathedral and Coach Jefferson. So the first-year coaches are doing really well. Both of those schools are far more impressive than I anticipated. And it's an encouraging sign because when a school changes a program, that means there were problems. And when coaches can come in and make an impact like that, it really says a lot.
The best time to take over a program is when they're down. The expectations are low. You get a coach in there that knows what they're doing, has a vast experience. They come in when the team is 2-8 in football. They can turn it around right away with their skill set, everything about the game.
So when you were coaching basketball in North Hollywood, you were happy when you replaced somebody who wasn't doing well that makes you look better?
My whole career, I replaced people that didn't do well. It's the perfect thing. You do not want to follow a Coach Wooden. You do not want to follow somebody. You want to find somebody low, there's no expectations, and then you build. Okay,
well, I appreciate that comment. Let's talk about one of the issues early on in the season, and that is football participation continues to drop. There have been fewer. California has lost nearly 10,000 students since 2015 who no longer play football. What is the issue, and can that be resolved?
Well, obviously, getting hit in the head, trauma in the head, long-lasting kind of thing where now people in their 40s or 50s, they don't think straight, anybody that played football. So parents are protecting their children. No more football. We're going to do lacrosse. There are many pro football players that now will not let their children play football growing up. And they know the price you pay getting hit in the head.
But this is a safer sport now than it was 40 years ago.
It's still very dangerous. I don't care what anybody says. The way the players go at it, it's a violent sport, and that's part of the game.
All right, since you are an expert in basketball, so-called expert, and you mentioned the T word, transfers, let's talk about high school basketball. Start with the city section because the transfers are going to have a big impact on city section basketball. Let's start with Fairfax. They got a nice guard coming in from Culver City and Dinwiddie. Birmingham has had several huge transfers that is going to make them suddenly one of the top 4 teams in the city.
Well, it's like they go for brothers. So they got the Caulfield brothers in there.
From Malibu.
Malibu, both 6'4", both tremendous prospects. One's 10th, one's 11th. They are going to make a big impact on the city. Birmingham has got the best transfers.
Well, they also got a really good guard out of St. Genevieve. But the biggest news out of the C-section is Kalen Allen, the City Player of the Year last year at Westchester, has been given a 5th year of eligibility. He returns. To me, Westchester's the team to beat. I don't care who... whoever shows up, January may be eligible. He's going to back at Taft. But who's going to be Westchester?
Well, I think Fairfax could beat Westchester. This is going to be another fight to the end, and you know what happens. They split during the regular season, then one game decides everything.
Right. And the southern section, it's still coming down to Sierra Canyon, Bishop Montgomery, Mater Dei. Those 3 schools have pretty much pulled away from everyone else, at least to start the year. I'm very impressed with the Mater Dei sophomore guard, Devin Askew. He's really shown in the summer that he can fill in for Spencer Freeman, so it should be an interesting time in basketball. The fact that we're even talking about it tells you how interesting it be. The fall basketball season is already beginning around Southern California, and we'll see who else transfers, because you like the T word, right?
Well, it's part of all sports, so get used to it. It's nothing new.
I'm used to it. I just have to keep mentioning it because it happens like every day.
Well, Sierra Canyon's got 3 or 4 already joining the group of Pippen and Martin and all those players.
Yeah.
So they've got the transfer from Birmingham, the 7-foot center. They've got a Chinese guy, 7 feet tall.
Well, you'll get to see them because you saw them a lot last year. But we'll move on from transfers. So that's this week's report. Coach Miller is always nice enough to fill in. He's going to go watch UCLA on Saturday. I'll probably be around the house watching USC and UCLA. Until next week, this is Eric Sondheimer of the LA Times along with Coach Steve Miller.